We're coming off indisputably the greatest sports summer of all time. All four sports overlap. We had a little bit of college going on. It was under terrible circumstances, but it was such that we had NBA, MLB, NHL, and of course the NFL. The only thing I can compare it to, and I didn't think this was brought up enough or ever, was when you and Mike were doing the summer of '94. I know you know what I'm talking about. It was June.
Oh, sure.
The Mets were about a 500 team, which we'd take at that point. The Yankees had 70 wins in a strike-shortened season, if I'm correct. You had Knicks, Rockets. You have the Rangers defeating the Canucks in the finals, and you had the O.J. car chase to add to it. That was the height of rate. I mean, it didn't get any better than that for a New Yorker, for a guy like me.
Boy, you're a big fan.
But that must have been madness. You didn't know where to turn. How did you do a 4-hour show there?
Oh, I thrived on it. The best one, I tell you, the best one was Game 6 in Indiana. Knicks were down 3-2. We did the show from Market Square Arena, and in those days, you could do a show right from the court. You know, this is not, in some radio convention hall or a press room. No, we did it right from the court. I mean, that's as good as it gets. So we did the show right from the court. I probably did, I'm going to guess then, we'd move the timing of the show to correspond with the game. That would probably be a 9 o'clock game on NBC. So we probably went 3 to 8. Okay. So we would fly to Indiana. We probably flew the night before, maybe that morning. We did 3 to 8. Mike flew back to New York for Game 7. And I went to Vancouver.
Wow.
From Indiana on that Saturday morning through Chicago for Game 3 of Rangers Canucks. I landed in Vancouver. That little Pacific Coliseum was not the one in downtown. It was like 30 minutes away in a little neighborhood. Drove to the Pacific Coliseum, and the radio aspect of that thing was right above center ice, and you had to walk on a platform to get to the radio thing where they did the games from. And the game was at probably 7 o'clock at night, Game 3. And remember, that's a tricky commute. Indianapolis, Chicago, Vancouver. And I got there to do a 2-hour pregame in Vancouver on that Saturday, Rangers Canucks. And then I stayed in Vancouver Saturday through Tuesday and then flew back to New York for Game 5. That was a good, no matter of fact, I even did something different. I did Game 3 in Vancouver, Game 4 in Vancouver, and I flew at night on Continental with Mike from Vancouver, Seattle, Houston, to get to the Knicks Rockets for Game 2 of the final. Now, how good is that? That's
amazing. And you're doing radio all throughout that.
Radio, that's fun. That was fun.
I love it. I'm a big fan of yours for years. Me and Bill Simmons and I, we have a podcast, Guess the Lines. We preview and we predict the NFL lines for the following week on Sunday night. And oftentimes we do Mike and the Mad Dog.
Oh,
we break
really?
down. He's Mike. I'm Mad Dog. We'll go over every team's schedule, like the Giants, like we'll go Cowboys, Giants, and I'll be you. And I'm like, Dad, if that game is played in my backyard, I draw the blinds. I love it. I love it.
Mike used to love that line.